college students the most. It's my favorite population. And I have a son heading off to college in 2 years, and we were just looking at Ithaca. So want to head back to where I started everything. So welcome very much to my course. I appreciate it. Welcome to the class. I just want to start off. Does anybody have any quick questions before I start? And does everybody have a profile already developed?
How many have profile developed? Looks like about 2/3 or so.
How many students do we have?
We have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14.
We're
Nice.
trying to shift the camera so you can actually see them.
Okay.
We don't know how to do that. Yeah, not in Zoom. Doc, can mute the stage left projector? No, I don't know.
This is actually my profile. I don't know if you can see it or if they can see it. But.
Let's see. Don't see it yet.
Yeah, if you can share the screen with us, and then we'll be able to see it.
I'm not sure how to do that.
Okay.
It's all new to me too.
I know. It's new to us too. But if you look at the bottom toolbar and you see something that says share screen, if you click that, you see it?
No. Let's see.
No, only host I've got to check to. So who can share who can share when someone else is?
Share. I just saw it. Share.
Got
Okay.
it.
Share. See if that works. Did that work?
We got, oh, yep.
Yes.
Yep. There we go.
Right, okay. Now it wants me to sign in. I just lost this connection.
You're still with us.
Okay.
There we go. Oh, you just had it.
Oh my goodness! It just keeps jumping out.
Can you? Well, there we go.
I know.
Can you click out of that other one? Or hit escape?
I know. It's very frustrating. All right. I think is that good now?
Yep. We see
great.
it. We see it.
Okay. So this is my profile. I'm actually going to show you two profiles. This is mine, and this is a student profile. This student is actually going to be going to college next year. It is someone I worked with, but I'm going to show you mine because I want to be able to open up my profile, and I can't get into her profile. So I want to open up my profile and show you more of how to develop your own profile. I'm assuming all of you, as we just talked about, have your own profile. So if you go to this tool right here, this is your edit tool. So everybody just follow along with me. If you have a laptop with you, just click on this edit tool. Okay, and you're going to open up your profile. And this is kind of interesting. The first name box has enough space there that you can put your first and last name in there. Okay, so you can actually put that in there. And then for your last name, you can put your career title. Now, assuming you know what it is that you want to do, or you could put a major, you could put, college student majoring in, you can put whatever it is that your concentration is, okay? And then for your headline here, you can actually put your career specialties. So this is your transferable skills. This is areas of expertise that you have. And again, you might not be familiar with those, but I'm gonna pick just a major. Let's just say you're a film major. So you can pick buzzwords from the film industry, okay? Whether it's, production or film editing, any kind of creative buzzwords that you can put in here for your major, okay? And you can put that in your headline. Okay, so then when people look at your profile, they're actually gonna see your first name and all of your headline keywords, okay? Now your current position here is what you have listed below your profile. So it would be in your job section, and it pops up in your area here. So you'll see your current job. Let me see, I'm going down here. Okay. Go back into that edit tool. Okay, so this is all the information that you can fill in right now with just your career profile, okay? You want to have a summary as well. So the summary here is a description of what it is that you're currently doing, whether you're just graduating, what you're majoring in. And I'm going to go over to my student profile right now so you can just take a look at what a student would have. So she has here that she's a storyteller, okay? So she's got, she's a theater major. So she's got here information about how she got started in her fields of interest. Okay, and then she talks about what she's actually studying, because again, she's a high school student just graduating. Okay, and then she's got areas here of that she's gotten involved with. Okay, so if she's done some shows, so she talks about the fact that she's done media, film, communications. So this is her sort of areas that she has been working in while she's pursuing her college degree. Okay, and then this is her skills and experience. So this is your transferable skills. And again, when people are searching for someone on LinkedIn, they're going to put those skills up on this search bar here. Okay, so they can search for all these skills here, and then you're more likely to pop up because you've got your transferable skills right in your summary, and then you're going to pepper them throughout the profile as well. Does anybody have questions so far about this? Anyone?
No questions so far.
No questions. Okay, go back here. Okay, so this is just the beginning of the profile. Again, you want to put all of your personal information up here. Okay, so your name, where it is that you went to school, what you're studying, okay, and then your profile, career profile, and then a list of all your transferable skills here. Okay, so this is you. This is your whole profile about you and what you can offer the company. Okay, and then you can go into your experience. Now, assuming you've had an internship, your most current experience would go here. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my profile again just to show you where you can put all this. Okay. So again, this is the little tool here. You're going to open up this edit tool, and then you can put in the most recent position that you've had. Okay, the name of the company, the location, the date that you worked there, and then a little bit about the position. You don't need to talk about the company because you're not selling the company, you're selling yourself. A lot of people do that. They put a little brief description about the company they work for. You really just want to talk about yourself. So you can talk like you would on your resume. You don't have to cut and paste your resume, but just you can put it in first person if you want, just a few lines about what your most recent job was. And here you can actually upload media. So if you have, maybe if you were a film major, you could put some of your film clips or your URL links to any commercials or films you've done, or you can put spreadsheets, anything that you want to show examples of your work. Okay, if you're a dance major, maybe you have a video of yourself dancing or teaching or something, so you can upload all of that here just to showcase everything you've done. Okay, and then you continue with all of your experience that you've had. So I'm going to go back to my student again. So she's got all of her experience listed here. Okay, and then she's got some videos of things that she's done for stage. So she's got some small experience because, again, she's a high school student. Okay, and then you can list your education below. So where you went to high school and then where you went to college. Okay, and if you've taken any additional courses outside of there, you can list that as well under your education. Okay, and then there's a section here, volunteer experience, that you can add to the profile. Okay, so if you've done any outside volunteer experience, whether it be on campus or on your own, maybe during the summer, it's always good to have community service as well. Okay. This skills and endorsement section, it allows you to have up to 50 skills in this section. So you can actually add 50 of your transferable skills. And again, if you're not sure what your skills are, you can look at job descriptions of positions you're interested in applying to, because all the skills would be listed in there. And you can go through and look at their requirements, and assuming you have all the skills that they're looking for, you can add them to your skills and endorsement section. And then what you want is that other people that are connected to you are going to actually endorse you for these skills. Okay, so I would endorse this student for her skills, and it's going to ask, how good do you think she is at these skills? So I can put in, she's highly skilled. Okay, and then I can say, I've heard about these skills from other people because I didn't work directly for her. I don't know that she's good, but I've heard that she is. So I can put all these skills in. The more endorsements you have for a skill, again, more likely you are to be found. So I'm going to go back to my skills section just to show you. I had 99 plus endorsements for resume writing. And so most people would find me for resume writing when they looked, again, in this gray box here for a professional resume writer. So I have endorsements for each one of my skills here. And I can actually see who it is that's been endorsing me. If I click on it, I can see all 99 people that gave me that endorsement. And the polite thing to do is to go to their profile and endorse them for their skills. That's how you get endorsements. You endorse each other back and forth. So it's kind of like doing a like on Facebook. So people always say, what's the point of liking something? Well, it's actually like an algorithm for search engine optimization. The more likes you have, more likely you are to be found online while someone is searching. Okay? Anybody have any questions about that?
Yep.
How do you endorse someone?
How do you endorse someone?
Okay, so I'm going to go again back to my other student profile. This is Grace, and here are her skills and endorsements. And I just did that click. See? So she's already got her skills listed, and this is how I'm endorsing her. I'm just clicking on it. Okay, and it's asking me, you know, why I think she's good at this. Okay, so you'd have to actually be connected to the person, okay, to endorse them. And then again, the polite thing is for them to endorse you back. You'll get notifications here saying that so-and-so endorsed you, and you could say thank you, and then you go back to their profile and endorse them. Okay.
Lauren, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Are recruiters more likely to find students the more endorsements they have, or is that not really connected?
It is connected. It is, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Because again, they're using the search bar to search for students.
Okay.
Okay, so they're looking for, applicants using the search tool. So again, it's that search engine optimization. Okay, more endorsements you have, more likely you are to be found in any search. Okay. Recruiters also have a recruiter tool that they're using. I unfortunately don't know much about it since I'm not a recruiter, but there is a tool that they can use to actually find candidates as well. Okay, but you definitely want to fill out all 50 skills. Since they're allowing you to have up to 50, you want to fill out the 50. So on mine, if I wanted to add a new skill, I just click this button here, add a new skill. Now it's going to tell me probably that I have 50 already. See, it says you reach your limit of 50 skills, but you can see they're sort of grayed out here. If I didn't have 50, LinkedIn would actually suggest skills to me that I might want to add based on my profile, which is really nice. So if I didn't know my skills, I could get suggestions from LinkedIn, and then I could just start typing a skill, and it would start helping me build. Okay, so you could type in marketing, so it would have, marketing communications, digital marketing, strategic marketing, all different areas of expertise that would help you build all of that. Anybody have questions about that?
Nope.
Okay. Okay, so moving on. It's nice, it actually separates it. So it says skills and endorsements, and you can actually have your top skills up here. So I have mine as consulting, contract recruitment, and resume writing. I have my top skills here. Okay, and then it broke it up by industry knowledge and then interpersonal skills. So it breaks up your skills into different categories as well. Okay, and then additional skills, they didn't have a category for this one. It's nice.
And how did you get those skills at the top?
So when I start typing in a new skill, it actually comes out at the top, and then it's funny, I've seen in the past, there's actually a grab tool that you can move things around. Oh, here it is. Okay. So these are my 3 skills here, and I put them here because I can move them around if I want to, and then another skill would pop out top. So let's see if I can move this one. Nope, you don't move. This is my grab tool. Okay, today it doesn't want to move. Okay, there we go. All right. So if I didn't highlight them here, I could highlight these 3, okay? And then they'll be my top 3 skills. So what you want to do is actually move your skills around continuously. So if I have 99 for program development, but I had no endorsements at all for nonprofit, I want my nonprofit to be up top, because most likely people go on a profile and they just sort of endorse the top 3 skills. They don't feel like going through all 50. People get lazy, So they just end up endorsing you for the top 3 that they see. And so if you have 99 for all the top 3, that's great, but then the other ones are kind of getting ignored. Okay, so then this is new, these little tags on the side. I hadn't gone on LinkedIn all week, and this is actually fairly new. So it used to be just the grab tool that you could move around and to put them in the top skills, but now it's this little tag here. So, okay, so this is how you would actually get yourself up top if you wanted to, with the skills, your top 3 skills. Okay, and then again, you'll get endorsed most likely for the top 3, even though you want endorsements for everything. There's no guarantee that everybody will go hit every, all 50 skills. But it's good to move them around to make sure that all of them are getting equally endorsed. Especially if there's one that's particular you want to be found for. Okay. Okay, then recommendations. How many of you actually have recommendations on your profile? How many of you have asked for recommendations so far?
Looks like none.
None. Okay, really, really important to have at least 3 to 5 recommendations. You can get them from a high school teacher. You can get them from a college professor, someone you've worked with, someone that knows you professionally, okay? You don't want your mom and your friends to recommend you, but you want someone in a professional capacity to write recommendations for you. Very important. Okay, how would you ask for a recommendation? Does anybody know?
We got a, yeah, potential.
Say, will you please write me a recommendation?
Did you hear that?
You said you'd ask someone to write you a recommendation?
Yeah, to please write me a recommendation.
Like, I'd really appreciate it.
I'd really
Okay.
appreciate it.
Do you know how to do it through LinkedIn?
Do you guys know how to do it through LinkedIn? Okay, no. There's
Okay. So this is, again, my student profile. I'm going to go to the More button. You have to go to the profile of someone you want to recommend you. So her little More button here, I'm going to click on it. And it says Request a Recommendation. Okay. So LinkedIn isn't kind enough to actually, I can't request it because she's my student. She's already written things for me. So I'm not going to ask her again, but this is how you would do it. So I'd select my relationship. Okay. So it says, you know, if you're going to ask a professor, you could say she taught you, she mentored you, okay, whatever your relationship was with that person, okay, and then select the position at the time. So you could say I was a student at Ithaca College, or maybe you worked as an intern for that person, okay, and then you would hit the send button. Once you fill this out, you hit the send button, and LinkedIn generates a little letter saying, would you be kind enough to recommend me? Now you could also add some more information to that. You know, maybe it was a high school teacher and you haven't spoken to them in 3 years and you might think, oh, they might have forgotten who I am. So put a little note in there saying, you know, I took your AP math class and I loved it and I'd really, you know, appreciate if you'd write some kind words, you know, about your experience teaching me, okay? Now, again, there's no guarantee that someone will agree to the recommendation, but all you can do is ask. You're going to receive, again, that notification that you've received a recommendation from someone. And then you can read the recommendation before it gets published. So if there's anything in there that you don't like, or maybe they misspelled something, or maybe you want them to add something else, you can actually communicate with them. You can message them here and say to them, thank you so much for writing me the recommendation. You know, would you mention A, B, and C, or would you be, you know, so kind as to fix the typos, whatever it is. Okay, so before it gets published, you can actually do that. Okay. And you want to get 3 to 5 recommendations again on the profile. Let's see if my student has any here. She does not any recommendations. Okay, have to press that she gets some recommendations. So I have recommendations here, and you can just, you know, whatever, see that people wrote some nice things, which is what you want. So it tells when the relationship, when the recommendation was written as well. So whoever's looking at your profile know that there was a recent recommendation. Okay. And then down here, you can list all the organizations that you belong to. So if you are at a fraternity or sorority, or if you hold any positions on campus or anything off campus, again, community service, anything can go in here if you hold any memberships for your organizations. Okay. And additionally, these are projects that you would have done at school or even outside of school. If you took any courses outside, any projects that you want to mention and highlight would go in here. Okay. And some people take professional development. They need certifications outside their degree, so they can put those in here.
Hey, Lauren, on the projects,
Mm-hmm.
can you go into much detail on those? Oh, okay, you do. I see.
Whoops, sorry. Yeah, so for each project, you can talk about I'm going to open this up. You can actually put here the project name, okay? And you can put associated with. So if you wanted to put Ithaca College, okay? And some people have a website for their project that they've done, okay? Or other people just talk about the presentation that they did, what the course name was, okay? You can even talk about the grade you received in it, if you worked as a team in the project, okay? So you just want to elaborate a little bit on the details of the project. You know, maybe what you learned from the project, how many people you worked with, what course it was for, what you got out of the project, what the result was, whether you did well on it. Okay. And then just information when you did the project. You can say you're currently working on it still.
Lauren, would this be where a student might put a URL to a portfolio that they have in relation, maybe it wasn't in relation to an actual project, so I'm just wondering if they would put it up under the media section at the top versus putting it in the project section?
Okay, so if it was for a job,
Mhm.
you would put it within the job.
Okay.
And if it was for a course, you could put it in within your education. So I'm going to go down to here. So here I went to Ithaca College, and so I'm going to put it here. Okay.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome. So it depends on what it was for. You know, if it was for an internship, you'd put it under the job. If it was for education, you'd put it on right under the school. Okay. Okay. So after your, sorry.
Just a quick note, Lauren, I think worth mentioning is many of you actually have done projects for local organizations, maybe a business or nonprofit. So this is a great way to list in great detail what those projects entail. And while you may not have space on your resume, you could expand on that here. Is that correct, Lauren?
It's an excellent point. So many students I have complain to me that they are only allowed to have a one-page resume, but they have so much information and so many internships and experience. There's just so much that they want to really stuff into that resume. You don't want your resume to be smaller than 11 points. I've seen people put, 9 points because they want to just get it all in there. Much better to expand on the LinkedIn. This is like your electronic resume where you can say it all. There's really not that much that I wouldn't put on here that I was going to elaborate on. So the resume is wonderful, but this really can expand in detail on all those projects or, outside experience that you have, and not worrying about, oh my goodness, it's too long, because it can't really be that much, there's no limit here to the amount of information you can put in as a student. It's really wonderful. It's a great tool to highlight and market all of the extracurricular things that you've done that you can't fit on that resume.
Great.
Okay, so you can put additional languages that you speak here as well. Okay, so there's something on here also where you can follow companies. So what happens when you follow companies, like I'm following the company Novartis right now because I have a lot of clients that are looking to work there. I'm in New Jersey and we have pharma country here. There's tons of pharmaceutical companies. So a lot of my clients want to work for Novartis, which is right around the corner here. So what I do is I go right to the company. If I was going to target a company that I want to work for when I graduate, okay, and then you can actually hit the following button over here. Okay, what happens when you follow a company is you go to your home page, you're going to get information about that company on your home page. So these are people I'm connected to, but I'm trying to see if I can find a company I'm following on here. There's so much stuff on here. So the company will then, here's a company. So the company will actually post jobs on the homepage. They'll post information, whether the company is merging or moving or growing. So it's really great. So that's the great thing about following companies is that you'll eventually get information about that company on your homepage. And the more companies you follow, more information you're going to get. You don't want to overwhelm yourself, but you can scroll through the homepage and start looking at that information as it pops up. Okay, so I think I'm following Ithaca College as well, so I start getting Ithaca College news on my homepage. Okay, and then you can join groups also. So these are people I'm following, influencers. Reid Hoffman actually started LinkedIn. Okay, so these are some famous people and some influencers that I want to see their page. A lot of them have a personal page and then they have a business page, like Oprah Winfrey. Her name is actually her own business, so she's got both. And then I can follow companies too. And as I said, all that information about the company will show up on their page. On the, show up on the home page. And if I go to the actual company page, I can see jobs listed right here on a company page. So it'll tell you how many job openings there are. It's wonderful. And then it'll tell you how many people work there, so I can find recruiters if I wanted to. I can connect here. So this is where the people at the company studied, where they live. I can find out more information about them. Okay.
Question, do you have a sense of how LinkedIn gets all their job postings? If this is something that companies do directly on LinkedIn, or if LinkedIn goes out and scans and then pulls them in?
As far as I know, each company has their own social media business person. So there's someone that's actually building the page for them and loading the jobs. So I think each individual company has someone that is in charge of their LinkedIn page.
So would you recommend that students always look at the organization's website in addition to LinkedIn?
Absolutely. I always go to LinkedIn first because LinkedIn has a link to the company business page. So you can go to the website from the LinkedIn page. So you're getting both. So you're getting their LinkedIn business page as well as being able to go right to the website. And of course, on the LinkedIn business page, that's where all the connections are. That's where all the people that it is, that you're looking for to reach out to. So I'm just going to show you this. Let's just say, I'd like to choose a student in there. Right now, I'm just going to go to the job page for a minute. Just going to jump out of here. I'd like to choose a student that is currently looking for full-time work. Are there any seniors in here right now or looking for a full-time job?
We have a couple.
Okay, can you choose one for me and tell me what field, what job they're looking for?
Anne-Marie, I'm going to choose you. So you are in the television field.
Yeah, TV development.
TV development.
Okay, can you tell me a title of a type of job you would be looking for?
Administrative assistant.
Okay. Okay, I want to be more specific because I'm going to get admin. So do you want to work in television as an administrative assistant?
Yeah.
Yes. TV development if possible.
Typing is not good. Yeah, administrative assistant. Okay, and where are you living?
I'm gonna go to LA.
Los Angeles.
That should be easy. See what we get. Okay. All right, so here's one, executive assistant at Burbank. Okay. So if we're gonna look at this company here, there's actually a view, different types of view up here. So it says split view, which means you're getting two screens, or the classic view, which means you can just look at the job. There's the job on its own, or you could do the split view. I like this one better because I can just see the job. Okay, so let's just say you wanted to apply to this job and you didn't know anyone there, okay? So you can then go to the actual company, which is right here, and click on it. Okay, and then you might be able to do a search at the company to see if there's any recruiters here. So there's a certain amount of employees here on LinkedIn, okay? So let's see if we can recruiter. Oops. Recruiter at Warner Brothers, okay. Okay, so here are recruiters at Warner Brothers. Okay, so you didn't have a connection at that company, but you wanted to apply to it, okay? So let's just choose one here, okay? You can connect with them, and then you can actually write them a note, okay? I'm gonna connect with this person, and it says add a note. So with this, you can add a note telling them exactly what it is that you are looking to do. So you're currently an Ithaca College student looking for a position to apply as an administrative assistant. You saw this position listed. You'd be interested in applying. And you can ask them, are they the correct person to forward the resume to? Is there someone that you could help me out to assist me in forwarding the resume to the right person? They may say to you, you have to go right through the website, or they may say, thank you so much for reaching out to me. I am the right person, or that person is sitting next to me. I will forward the resume to her. But it does not hurt to connect with recruiters on there to actually get started with your network and building towards Warner Brothers, okay? So you can see here a whole bunch of other recruiters here for the company, okay? So this is a great way to get started. Now what I have here is I have a second connection to this recruiter at Warner Brothers. So that means that I know someone who knows her. So my first connection, I'm directly connected to someone. That person knows this person who's at Warner Brothers. So I would write to her and say, you know, I'm interested in working for this company. Can you help me out? I see you're connected to somebody at Warner Brothers. Would you be able to forward my resume to them? Now, it seems like it's a little assertive, a little forward, but you kind of have to be that way. It's very competitive out there, and there's a lot of people that may want this job. I have a premium membership. It's $29.99 a month for the premium membership. I'm not telling everyone they should have one, but it does give you a lot more benefits. So you can get salary on here. Sorry about that. You can get salary. You can get a lot more information with the premium. So it'll tell you here what skills you're going to need if you wanted to apply to this job. Okay. Do you feel like you have a lot of the skills they're looking for?
She's looking.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so you feel confident that you may be able to apply to this. 72% of the people applying have a bachelor's degree, which you're going to have. Okay, and then 56 applicants live in the Los Angeles area. And then they're giving you information about the actual company and its growth. Do you have a connection there?
No.
No.
Great, so this is a good way for you to get that connection there, okay? So finding people that work there. So I have alumni that work there, which is another way of doing it as well. You can go to your Ithaca College alumni page and see if anybody is working there, okay? So I'm gonna go to the Ithaca College business page for a second, sorry. Okay, so I'm gonna go to Ithaca College. Now Ithaca College, although it is a college, is also a business. So on the side of the Ithaca College page is an alumni tool. On the left, I click on alumni, and I can actually put in the year that I went to school, and then I can find out all the people that graduated that year with my major. There we go with my typing. Television. Okay, I'll put in the year that I graduated. Start year, I graduated 1989 to 1991. Okay, so these are all the people that graduated around the same time I did that are television radio, okay? So I can connect with them as well, and I already have something in common because we both graduated together. So that's another way of saying, I'm looking to work in this field. I was wondering if you could be of assistance to me. We both went to Ithaca. Write a nice little sales letter to them, introducing yourself, telling them what you're about, that you'd like to connect with them, and could they share any information or advice, or maybe even want to work for the company they're working at, okay? I'm going to put in Warner Brothers and see if anybody's working at Warner Brothers. Okay, so these people may have connection to Warner Brothers and or have worked in the field. And again, you can connect with them and see what they can do to help you out, okay? Because you know you have that in common already. Anybody have questions about that?
Any questions? Nope, no questions.
Okay, does that make sense, everybody? It's a great way to do it because at least you're with Ithaca people that get you and understand, how hard it is when you're first coming out and finding something in the field. So using Ithaca as a networking tool is wonderful. And that's how you found me as well, Carrie.
Yes, we teach this to students all the time. It's been so helpful.
That's great. Okay. Just wanted to give you a few other tips on the page. This is your public profile and URL. So you'll see up here, you have, it's called a LinkedIn URL. You could put this on your resume as well, because people are going to want to go right to your LinkedIn profile when they look at your resume. LinkedIn assigns you a URL, so it's usually a bunch of letters and numbers at the end of it. It's sort of gibberish because it's just assigned to you. You want to customize it. So if you go to the right here and you click on it, you can actually go to the little edit tool, and then you can customize it like you would with your email address. So it's called an in-mail address because it's LinkedIn. So you customize it and you put, whatever you want, but it's your own address. And again, that's what goes on your resume. So you have your email address and your in-mail address on your resume. And I have one other interesting tidbit. On your resume, you'll see sometimes when you put your email or your in-mail address, it comes up as bright blue. That means that there's a hot link turned on, which means that when someone's looking at your resume, they can actually click on it and go right to your LinkedIn profile, or they can email you. You actually want to turn that hot link off. So when you put this address on your resume, make sure it is not bright blue. You right click on your mouse and turn the hot link off, because the applicant tracking system cannot read the resume if it's got that hot link turned on. Your resume is being scanned by a software system, and it will actually override the system. It can't look at it at all, and it won't forward it on if that link is turned on. So when you put this email address on your resume, make sure it is not bright blue. Does that make sense?
Do you guys understand that? Okay. Yes.
A lot of people don't know that. It's a sort of applicant tracking friendly system. You just want to make sure your resume is, being seen and not being being passed on because you've got a link turned on your resume. Okay. Does anybody have any more questions about the profile?
Lauren, I have a question. I know sometimes it's a struggle to really create some eye-catching title for yourself. Do you have any tips for our students regarding how to showcase their brand, even in that very first part of their profile and maybe in that summary?
Yeah, so again, this section here, you don't want to just say student at Ithaca College. You want to tell them a little bit more about you. So you could put here, rising senior, Ithaca College, and then in this little area here, you could actually put in some of your keywords that would highlight you a little bit better. I'm going to go to one other profile. This is actually my nephew's profile. I had mentioned it to you, Carrie. So he's putting right now, he's still a student at Indiana, but he doesn't want to highlight that he's still a student. He wants to talk right about his career. So he's putting down that he's currently an intern, okay? And then here, he's talking about himself. So it's almost like his introduction to who he is. So you can use some of these examples here to talk about who you are, what you have to offer them, what you're majoring in, what your focus is, what your interests are. Okay, so this is your sort of your selling area, highlighting your skills and strengths. Okay, and I was telling Carrie also, his school actually did a branding video. So some schools are doing that now. So they videotaped him talking a little bit about his talents, which is something that's nice there, because then they get a piece of him, and then he's can public speak and talk about himself. So you want to put a career title if you can. If you're currently working, you can put that here. Or as I said with my other student, you can put what you're actually majoring in and what some of your areas of expertise are. And if you're not sure, that's something you can work at, certainly with the Career Center. They can help you, develop some of your strengths and skills if you're not sure what your areas of expertise are. Hope I answered your question.
Absolutely. For graduating seniors who are actively looking for a job, do you recommend that they begin that in their summary, saying something, I'm currently seeking work in the television industry? Was that a recommendation that you would make?
Yes, you could put just a brief sentence saying currently seeking a full-time employment, in the field of such and such as a, administrative assistant or such. Yes, absolutely. You could just, put that right in the beginning. And then you can go into your description about, again, who you are, what you've studied, what your passions are. Okay.
Great.
I wouldn't put it right here in the title. I wouldn't put currently seeking full-time position because everybody on here is pretty much looking for work at this point. So you don't need to highlight that you're, unemployed or looking for work. You can just put where you're, where you went to school, again, what you're majoring in, and then some of your expertise. But then in your summary, you could put, I am graduating from Ithaca College as a theater major, currently seeking full-time work on Broadway, whatever.
Great. Oh, I have a couple of questions.
Yes.
Hi, I wanted to know, how do you separate past job experiences from job experiences that you want to that are about like your field of study? Like, let's say I worked somewhere like a part-time job or something, but it's not related to what I'm doing. Do I still include that in my LinkedIn profile?
Yes, because it's still experience. So absolutely. Even if it's, I'm going to go for a second here to Tyler's. So Tyler actually had some more relevant experience for his fields of interest. Whoops, sorry. And then he's got that he was a camp counselor, which isn't really what he wants to do, but still experience. So he's got that as his previous experience. Okay. And again, you can order the experience. I'm gonna go in here. So this is that grab tool again. So I have 2 jobs I'm doing at the same time. One of them is more important than the other. And so I keep this one more relevant. So if you have jobs that you're doing, let's just say this summer you decide you want to be a camp counselor and it's not related to the field you want to do, you can actually move that job. So you can take that grab tool and move it below a current job that you really want them to focus on. Okay, so maybe the previous summer you had an internship at a bank and that's really what you want to do, but this summer you couldn't get that internship, you're at camp. So you could put your current experience first. I'm sorry, you could put your relevant experience first, and then below it, you could put that camp experience.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Now on your resume, obviously you want to keep it chronological, but if you wanted them to just focus on what you're most interested in, you could put that first.
Yep, we have another question.
So I'm someone who's involved with like product, or like I really have been just a production assistant. So I haven't had as many internships, but I was wondering if there's a way for you to put like the experience of something like that to that degree, if you understand what I'm saying.
So it's not a job, but it's experience in the field.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can still put it under experience. They don't really care if it's paid or not. There's another section here. I'm going to see this button here, add profile section. So this is where you can add all the different areas. So if that particular experience is volunteer experience, you could put it in here in your volunteer area because it is still experience, but it's just not paid. So when people are seeking, employees right now for college students, a lot of college students aren't being paid for their internships. So whether you call it an internship or volunteer experience or something, you can still put it here. It's fine, because it doesn't say whether it's paid or not. It's just that they want to know that you're in the field doing something.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Once you get a full-time job that's paid, then that experience could become volunteer experience. And then you put the paid experience here.
Got another question?
Mm-hmm.
Hi, if you've had like multiple job experiences,
I'm sorry, I'm not hearing him.
If you've had multiple job
that
experiences,
are all like related to each other, but none of which are related to like field you're trying to go in, is it worth it to?
hang on,
Yes.
that are all related to each other, but not necessarily related to the field you want to go in.
Is it worth, like for example, like working in like different restaurants? Is it worth it to summarize all that, or to list each one specifically, like individually?
Is it worth it to summarize all those different positions? So let's say a lot of restaurant work, or is it better to list each one out separately? Is that it? Okay.
Do you have additional experience that is related to the job you want to get?
None of which is like paid.
None of which is paid.
Like in terms of like a job, but I do have experience. So, like, not.
So it hasn't been a job, but it has been some element of experience.
Okay.
Class or?
No, just like apps.
Like, okay.
Just what? I'm sorry.
How would you describe it?
What was the relevant experience?
Well, I was just asking about, can I like go up there?
Yeah, come on up. He's coming up to the microphone.
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm having trouble hearing him.
No, not a problem.
How's it going?
Yep, right in the microphone.
So my original question was about, like just for myself, like I have a lot of like restaurant work, but obviously that's not the field I want to go into. So is it worth it to like list all of those individually under like job experiences, or is it better to just like summarize all of them?
Again, you had said you have some relevant experience, but it's not paid, which is fine. As I said, most students at this point don't have paid experience or internships. So could you put your paid experience, could you put your relevant experience first so we can at least see that you've done something in the field?
Yes, yeah. It's just that the paid work I did was not the work that was relevant to the field, but rather the work that was relevant to the field was not paid work. That's okay.
That's okay. So the field work that you've done now, could you put that first And then maybe below, you could just put, restaurant experience and summarize all the restaurants you've worked at and the skills that you've developed from them.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much.
So, sure. Yeah, don't worry right now about whether a job is paid or not. You just really want to make sure that you're listing all your skills and your expertise in there. Okay. That's more important, that you, kind of really explore and expand on what it is that you've done and gained from the experience, not whether you're being paid or not. Any other questions?
Yep.
What are things we should be posting on LinkedIn? Is that something we should be doing or focusing on?
I wouldn't focus on that right now, because you're students and you're developing your profile and kind of building with your experience. But this homepage here is where you would post things. See, it says start a post. This is where you would actually post things. So because I have a business, every Monday I actually post articles on here that other people have written. I'll share articles and share. So if I think that an article is relevant to something I want to share with my network, I will share the article and then I can write a comment for the article. Now, you certainly can do this. I wouldn't, discourage you at this point, but it is time consuming. And if your profile isn't fully developed, you're sharing something with your network so they can see your profile. Once they see what it is that you're talking about, if I wrote on here, this is a great article, I want everybody to see it, I want to share this with you, people might say, oh, let me see what Lauren has to say, and they may go to my profile. But if my profile isn't developed, it isn't done, not a good representation of me yet. So once your profile is complete and it's something you want to put out there, then you can start sharing information with people and posting. So if any of you are writers, okay, or you've made films, you can certainly post them right here. See, here's the films, pictures, essays. You can post anything here, write an article, okay? But at this point, I think it's more important to start developing your profile. And when it's ready, then you can start posting and sharing information.
That's great, Lauren. So to wrap up, are there any other tips or tricks you think that students should know moving forward?
So I have the app of LinkedIn on my phone. So I wouldn't, say spend hours a day on your computer. So because I have the app on my phone, I can answer things, I can look at things. So I have my app gives me a little ding on my phone. So sometimes when I get a new job that will be sent to me that I want to share with a client, I get a little ding on my phone. So I set it up so I can get notifications, which is right here, notifications on my phone to information that's being sent to me. So I can check, and I know we have a lot of things going on our phones, and you're certainly in class all day, but between classes, I don't recommend going on during class. Between classes, and when you have some spare time, you can go on the app on your phone and just see what's going on your LinkedIn profile. The more you go on, the more likely you are to be found again. So you'll want to be active on your profile, but not obsessive about it. We are spending hours a day on LinkedIn. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so I keep that app on my phone just so I can be active during the day. And I can just, answer things quickly or send things or share things. And again, the more active you are on LinkedIn, more likely you are to be found.
Great.
This background photo also, sorry, just wanted to quickly, I have a background photo on here, which is nice. There's actually a site called LinkedIn Background Photos. They're already sized for you. Okay, so you can actually go and upload different photos here from the website, LinkedIn Background Photos. And they are accessible for you to use. And you can pick them per your interest, for your field of interest. So you can do finance background photos and film and all kinds of things. And it just dresses up your profile a little bit. It looks nice. I certainly recommend a photo as well. It does not have to be professional, but as long as you look polished in the photo, I would highly recommend doing that.
That's great advice. I didn't even know about that particular LinkedIn background photo thing. So that's great. I learned something new.
You can also put emojis on your profile right here. Make sure, again, they're professional, but there is a LinkedIn emoji website.
Get out. Really?
They all these cute little things I have on my website. Yeah. There's LinkedIn emojis. But again, here's a little phone, computer. You just want them to be professional, obviously.
Cool. That's awesome.
Just dresses up your profile a little bit, makes it stand out from other people,
So unfortunately, we're going to have to wrap up because I know we've got students who are coming in for their next class. But
it was a pleasure speaking with you all. Thank you so much for giving me your time.
Thank you. And can our students connect with you on LinkedIn?
I would appreciate if they would, and I will certainly accept your connection.
Awesome.
Thank you for attending.
All right. Take care, Lauren. Thank you.
You're welcome. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Oh, look, it worked. You see? It worked. Oh. That's great.